We are back with Emerson Wells from the Guilford County Cooperative Extension Office, sharing what you need to know about spring planting as the temperatures are heating up. All right, the last time we left you, we were talking about thinning out certain fruit trees like apples and peaches and things of that nature. What should we be looking out for?
Yeah, so now is the time to thin. Peaches in particular need to be thinned to 4 to 6 inches apart to produce that large, high quality fruit that you want. Thinning in general outside of fruit trees, you just want to make sure that you allow your crop space to grow and flourish and they're not overcrowding each other.
Gotcha. It's so nice to see a tree, full of all of the stuff, but you're saying we really need to be picking those pieces of fruit off to make sure that the plant really does get what it's supposed to get.
Absolutely.
Okay, so what are some of the things we should know about taking care of ornamentals or house plants?
For ornamentals and house plants, now's that time, like I said, to thin those direct seeded annuals, so anything from seed, and finish planting your warm season annuals. You don't want to remove foliage from spring bulbs until it dies back naturally, because that helps develop strong bulbs and blooms for the next year. But around this time, as you said, the temperatures increase, you might see those cool season plants that you've had kind of start to be impacted by the heat that we've had lately.
All right, and can sun damage house plants if you leave them outside versus bringing them inside?
Yeah, if you have a house plant that's been used the past season inside, it's on a windowsill, it's used to the AC. House plants that are moved outside for summer might be impacted by light intensity or heat. So just be aware if you're moving plants outside, if they get any type of shade, if they're a type of plant that needs that full sun or full shade, and that you're watering appropriately. And again, you want to just think about watering about an inch per week, or you can use the finger method, dig down in the roots and ensure those roots of your plants are getting that water.
Okay. Now, could being outside cause houseplants to get sick or have bugs or something like that we need to watch out for?
Definitely. So any type of new environment can present a danger of pest pressure, especially bugs that your plants aren't used to having inside. So if you have a plant outside and you bring it back in and you notice any type of pests, a common one is mealy bugs. You can bring samples to the Cooperative Extension for some sample ID. And otherwise, what we recommend is an insecticidal soap for indoor plants. But otherwise, just checking out your house plants for if they present any type of symptoms of damage, especially pest pressure, which is usually indicative of holes or bites missing from your house plant's leaves.
Gotcha. Okay. All right. Let's talk about those lawns, because by now we've all had to mow the lawn at least once. How do we need to take care of our lawns, and especially those weeds that are in our lawns?
Right. So the best weed control method is when you only have a few weeds to hand pull. Your broadleaf perennial weed that come back from their root system may be controlled using a post-emergent broadleaf herbicide. Of course, you want to be careful when you're applying any herbicides next to anything edible. So be careful when treating weeds in and around your gardens. Otherwise, the NC State turf files are a great resource to ID your weeds and navigate best control methods, whether it be cultural or via some sort of chemical or herbicide of your choice.
Okay, so we can what? Do we have to pull out the weeds and bring them there, take a picture of it, send it to you guys, and be like, hey, this is my weed problem. What do I do?
Yeah, you can do all of the above. So we take photo samples, physical samples, and can work with you at the Cooperative Extension to ID your weeds. Again, we like to remind folks a weed is just a plant somewhere you don't want it. So what you might think a weed is might not be our definition, but we're happy to work with you. So at the end of the day, your garden is what meets your needs or wants best.
Right, that's a whole lot better than trying to go to, a store and looking at all the weed things and wondering if we're buying the right thing to get rid of the weed. Okay, and how long does it usually take if we send in a picture or that kind of thing?
It depends on, our kind of volume at the time, but we like to get back to you within the week. If it's a walk-in, depending on our capability at the time, we can usually ID something day of. Otherwise, we have folks in and around our office that will be able to do that work and get back to you as soon as we can.
Okay, great. All right, so my next question is about how lengthwise of the lawn do we need to keep it? How often do I need to be mowing the lawn?
Definitely. So we're thinking of those cool season lawns mowed to a height of 3 and 3.5 inches. You can also leave grass clippings on the lawn to add nutrients back to the soil as they decompose. So when we think about soil organic matter or kind of amendments into the soil, when we think about organic matter, we also think about compost, but really it's anything that was once living is now dead and can kind of decompose and add those nutrients back to the soil. So consider your grass clippings either on your lawn or for other uses. And otherwise, when you're mowing, you just want to make sure your mower blades are sharp to again both make sure that you're not spreading any type of weed seed or kind of prevent issues like that within your lawn.
All right, and is there like a thing where we should keep it at a certain length, like for the health of the lawn?
Again, it would depend on your the type of lawn that you have and also the goals that you have with your lawn, whether it be you want something kind of pristine or really short. It also depends on the variety or the cultivar of the grasses you have.
Okay, let's talk about this. Not my favorite, poison ivy. It emerges this time of year every year. What is the best way to prevent it? Let's recognize what it looks like, and then how do we get rid of it?
Yeah, absolutely. So, poison ivy is one of those pests, not pests, but one of those plants that can kind of show up when you least expect it. If you think you've come into contact, you want to make sure you wash your skin with soap and water as soon as possible and avoid kind of wearing those clothes or remove those clothes that may have the oils on them. Again, it's the oils from the poison ivy that cause those rashes and irritation. And not everyone has irritation as well. But that's just something to, as you're digging in their garden or maybe revisiting spaces that have kind of grown wild for the season, something to look out for.
Okay, and to get rid of poison ivy, are we like pulling it out, digging it out?
You can treat it with a type of herbicide. There's also cultural controls. You can pull it out, but that gets risky again with wanting to avoid contact. So any type of, glove removal or just be really careful not to expose any type of skin or open area to the plant.
Gotcha. Okay. All right. So she's been answering our questions. What about your questions? You can get them to her by texting that number right there at the bottom of your screen, 336-379-5775. We're taking your questions when we come back.